Welcome to the Do Disciples podcast. Today we're going to be talking to you guys about why we follow Jesus and, our testimonies pretty much. And I'm here with my brother, Brody.
Broderick, Levi.
Broderick, whatever.
No, it's okay. It's all right. You're good. Brody's my nickname.
Yeah, here with my brother, Broderick, and we're just going to be talking about our testimonies. And I'm going to let Brody go first, so.
No, you got to go first. Yeah, we already discussed that. You get to go first. I'm so interested to hear what you have to say.
All right, I'll go first.
All right.
Introduction first and this first. All right, so my story, I guess it's a little bit different, I'd say, to most people's, but I'd probably say I was raised. Brody, you could go with this with me. We were both raised with our mom telling us about Jesus, so we're kind of blessed with that. I feel like I've been introduced to Jesus since I was a little kid, and I've known about him, but I didn't really know about him. Like, I wasn't really I would say a follower. I went to church every Sunday and all these things. And my mom always, told me right from wrong with Jesus and what to do and what not to do. And I was like, church was just like a thing to do. I had to go, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like going to church because it was boring to me. I was a little kid. I just wanted to go outside and have fun with my friends. So I feel like I was always introduced to him at a young age, but I didn't really know him, and I didn't really think about anything about Jesus and getting to know him like seriously on a real note until I got older. And there's just things in my life that came, like I went through school, and it was just the same thing when I was a little kid. I just went to church, and the only thing I really did was go to church, and I didn't really open the Bible ever, and I didn't really pay attention. So I don't know, but the past like 2 years or 3 years, I've been getting closer and closer with him. I've had, fall offs and things, but I'd say how I got closer to him is I'd probably say overthinking. I still do kind of struggle with overthinking, but it's all started, I think, Christmas time 2 or 3 years ago, and I was in church, and I thought I had diabetes. It's a really weird thing. I thought I had diabetes. I'm not even joking. But it was because at the time I was peeing all the time, and my brother has diabetes, and I was, always nervous about getting it. So when I was peeing, like one of the signs were always peeing, and I was just like, I'm getting really scared. Like, I'm always going to the restroom and everything. And it was church mass. It was during Christmas. So I was getting really nervous, and I was constantly having to pee. But the thing I didn't know was every time I went to the restroom, I drank water over and over again, because I was like, oh, water's going to flush out whatever's in my system. And so every time I went to the restroom, I drank water. And that was the reason I kept peeing so much, is because every time I used the restroom, I drank gallons and gallons of water, because I was like, it'll flush it out. So I didn't know at the time, but yeah, I spent the whole Christmas like praying to God and like asking him just to protect me. I remember sleeping in my bed, and I think I was like bawling my eyes out. Nobody knows about this, but I was bawling my eyes out. It was Christmas Eve, and like I was trying to have a good time and not think about it. But I was bawling my eyes out, and I was just praying. I was just like, please, God, like, don't let me have diabetes. I don't want to, because I've seen Brody and his struggles, and he's done so well with it. I don't know. I didn't want it, because it just, I don't know, counting for all my food and everything, just, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I went through that. I was just crying to God all the time during that night, and I kept getting up, having to use the restroom. And then I woke up, Christmas happened, still overthinking, had a terrible Christmas. I was trying to hide it, and I was still trying to act excited, but I think that was the start of my overthinking, and it just progressively got worse and worse, because I wasn't, leaving everything to God like I know now to do. But I think that was the start of it, and it just progressively got worse and worse. And I think because of my overthinking, I started praying more and, asking God and I didn't read the Bible actually at first. I just started praying constantly. I was just constantly praying and praying and praying. But I think there was no faith behind those prayers, so it didn't really do anything, because I just thought of God as like, oh, I'm just going to ask him to do things and he'll answer me. But I don't know. I just feel like there was no faith, so nothing really happened. But I don't know. I mean, stuff definitely did happen. I just know, like, I didn't have any faith behind it. It was just God wasn't really, I didn't really have a relationship. I just constantly prayed to him, and I was just like, help me out, help me out. Like, nothing's happening. I'm still worrying every single day and constantly getting scared about everything. And so I think Brody, he gifted me a Bible. I never had a Bible during any of this time, I don't think. But he gifted me a Bible on my birthday. And I was just like, I always wanted to read a Bible, but I never really wanted to read it because I hate reading. And if I'm going to read a book, that was going to be the only book I was going to read. So he gifted me that. I didn't open it for like 2 years. And it just sat next to my bed. But yeah, it was next to my bed. I just never read it ever. And Brody always came in because he was reading his Bible at the time. He was always telling me like, Levi, like, get up, you got to do something today. He always tried to motivate me, and it wasn't even with the Bible. It was just like, get up, Levi, do something with your life. Like, not like that. He didn't say that. He didn't say do something with your life. He just said like, get up, Levi, you're rotting away in your bed and everything. And I was like he's kind of right. I just didn't want to ever, get up and actually leave because I was like, then he's going to be like, oh, I'm right. And then he's always going to do it. So I never really did that. I never really got up. But when he left, I was like, all right, but he's kind of right. I didn't want to ever let him know that. But that led, I think, to me reading the Bible because I was like, Brody's so productive in his life. And this isn't a joke. I'm not just saying this because you're on the podcast. But I saw him doing things like, he read I think you read the Bible like all Christmas. You said you sat down like every day reading the Bible.
Oh, on Christmas, you mean?
Not during Christmas, but like during that season of like you said COVID or something. You got COVID.
Oh yeah, you're going into my testimony.
No, I'm trying to, because this is.
But yes, that's when I went. I was yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't tell me that, but he later told me it. But
no,
yeah,
if he's sneaking, he's actually sneaking what I'm about to say.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like he already knows.
I had to, bro. I had to. But yeah, I didn't know that at the time, but I started because like all the things I could see, like Brody was getting better at certain things and stuff. I didn't know it was from the Bible, but I started reading the Bible because of him constantly saying, "Do something with your life. Like at least try to read one page a day and all this stuff." And he always had like these talks with my family about like, this is right and this is wrong and all this stuff, and it was always about God. And I always sat back and like just listened and like tried to take in some of the stuff and all this stuff. But yeah, I think that is what made me get started reading the Bible, is him constantly talking to my family about all the things in the Bible and all these, like, there was always things that I never wanted to think were wrong. But whenever Brody talked about it, he didn't even know I was doing it at the time, but he talked about it and just brought in his examples. And I was just like, wait, I do this. And I never talked to him about that I actually did that. But when he brought it up as examples to other people, I did those things, and I like sat and listened. And then it was like a clear answer to me without actually talking to me. So I was just like, what the frick? So that made me start reading the Bible. And I didn't read as much, but I remember getting super like close with God and like getting way closer, learning how to like actually have a relationship and talk to him and all these things. And I had a girlfriend at the time, but I was getting really close. I was doing better with like lust and stuff because I was struggling at the time. I was doing way better with that. It was like months and months of like not doing it. And then I don't remember what happened, but I remember I also started listening to better music. Also, Brody told me to do that, and I thought it was a joke. But when I actually did, I didn't start with like Christian music. I started with podcasts in my car. I drove to work and stuff, and I just listened to podcasts. And then that drove me to listen to like Christian music. And I'm not even joking; it actually helped because I don't know how. There is no way. It just helped. I got closer to God, and I don't even think any of my music was bad. Well, I mean, I think it was. I listen to it now, and it's terrible. But I listened to podcasts, and it truly did help. But something happened, I don't remember what it was, that made me stop reading the Bible as much. And I was just like, all right, I was reading the Bible every day, and I was just like, it went to, okay, I'll read tomorrow night. I can't read tonight, I'm too tired. I'll read tomorrow night. And then it just constantly went over and over and over again. And I stopped reading, I stopped listening to podcasts, I stopped listening to Christian music, I went back to my old ways. And with that, I also started, failing to lust again and all these other things. And I didn't really realize, like, that I was going down, like, the freaking rabbit hole again until, I don't know, I like I was in my girlfriend's dorm, and I was just like, I started bringing the Bible to her college, but I never really read it because I wanted to get closer to him again. I never really read it, and I was just like, I gotta start reading this. So I bring an action Bible. I think I got it for Christmas. I bring an action Bible, like the ones with the picture, and I started reading that there with my girlfriend, and I remember reading the thing of Job. It was like pictures of Job and how he like went through all these things. Like, geez, like that's freaking. Why would God allow Satan to do that to Job? But then it showed like how it tested his faith, and Jesus knew that Job wasn't gonna, or God knew that Job wasn't gonna, fail in faith, and he's like, all right, test Job. He's not gonna fail. Like, I know he won't fail, and he didn't fail. Like, Jesus had that much faith in him, and I feel like that, like, it's just crazy how it works because I haven't opened the Bible in so long. When I opened that and read it with my girlfriend, I was just like it made me start thinking. I was just like, wow, it's nowhere near what I was like, where my life was at, but I was just like, Job went through all these things and he still remained faithful to God, and I haven't went through anything, and I just stopped having a relationship with him, and I wasn't as close with him. So I was just like, I need to start reading, and it took me like a couple months to start reading it again, but I started reading it again. I got really close, and now I'm trying to read every day. I do good sometimes, and I stop at night because I'm super tired doing college, and I get back to it. And also stuff happened in my life. I'm not gonna name it. Birdie knows, but that also made me get really close to God, and also had a little setback because I was really sad. But it also made me get super close to God. I know it was God's plan for me, and I feel like that happened to get closer to God, and it also is a big reason why I'm getting super close. And it hurts, but I know it's part of His plan, and that's really all you have to like know. But I mean, it sucks. But and that brings me here right now, where I am right now, starting a podcast talking about Jesus because I'm so on fire for Him and I love Him so much. But I don't know. It's just literally, that's my whole life story about my relationship with God. But yeah, it's.
Dang, you went through it.
Yeah, I know. I really did, bro. It's crazy.
You didn't expect that it all just come out.
Yeah, it's freaking. I didn't think I had a testimony, but I guess.
Yeah, you started with, I don't really have one, and then you kind of told your testimony. I mean, that's the beginning of the journey, is what's really cool about that.
It's freaking crazy to think about or talk about later.
Yeah. Now there you go, the world knows. There you go.
It's freaking crazy, bro. All right, now your turn. You gotta talk
talk
about yours, bro.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be telling you and the audience directly. Because I don't think you truly know my testimony.
I don't.
So here's how kind of my thing happened. I've told you a little bit of how it started, which the way it started was, obviously, what you guys maybe don't know is me and Levi grew up within the church. Like, we already were knowing and informed about God. And we were like, okay, well, we know God and what Jesus did for us. But we really didn't know like that much detail. So around COVID, this is when it was around 2019. The year 2019 was happening, and before COVID happened, obviously COVID was being talked about all around the world, okay? And during that time, I was in college. I was about to graduate college. This was a crazy time for me because I was about to graduate college, start crazy, get a good job out of college. I mean, that's what I thought. And so I was like, okay, cool. 2019 rolls around, and it becomes one of the most chaotic years I have of my life. Okay, well, guys, hey, we're shutting the school down. You're going to be doing college online, which we were like, what? So I had all classes in college. So I was like, okay, there was nothing online I had. And now all of a sudden everything's online. So I was like, well, this is really weird. What's going on here? Because it was like 2 months. Then it was 3, and then 4, and then 5. Then, oh, you just graduated and here's your diploma. You never went to college anymore. Like, you didn't know you were just never going to return to college. That all happened during COVID because it all just went crazy during that time. During that time, I was also working, obviously. I was going to college, working full-time as well as an assistant manager at Gap. And at that time, I was not at all reading the Bible. And my aunt, Tammy, she actually gave me this Bible, which I still have it. She gave me this Bible for confirmation, which is like a Catholic thing that you do to confirm your baptism, like what you actually truly believe in. During that time, I had the Bible sitting there, and again, I was playing video games, and I was getting paid to play video games pretty much. And the way this works is I was basically working but not working, because like they paid us to stay at home. It was really weird. It's a weird time. So basically I was still being paid full time to not even work. We just were paid for like a 2 to 3 week period before they shut that place down because of COVID. They were paying us. So I was sitting here just doing whatever. We couldn't leave our house. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't, literally nowhere. You couldn't go anywhere unless you had like a exemption or something. The COVID was a weird time. During that time, I got so bored. And this is the first time in my life I ever got bored of video games. And that's a whole nother thing that happened, which Levi knows about what happened back and forth with that thing. So during this time, Levi never really understood, and my family didn't either, which was I went through this phase of, okay, I'm bored of video games, and I never got to that point, but it was because I had so much free time. I was like, this is not really that fun anymore. I overexerted myself in playing them. So I said, you know what? Let me just look around my room, see what I have. Maybe I can entertain myself. It was to that point I was bored. And I was looking around. I went into my hope chest, which is like all these memories. If people don't know what that is, it's like a thing where you kind of put little memories that your mom or dad or somebody maybe like helps save over time, like a blankie or something like that. Mine didn't have that, but mine had a couple things from like high school, middle school, some trophies or whatever. And then there was my Bible in the chest, right on the top. And I go, actually, it wasn't on the top, but let me correct that. It was halfway down. I dug through some stuff, and then there's a Bible. And I go, oh, I wonder if Tammy wrote something in this. So I opened it and read her message, and I was like, well, that's great. This is really good. And then this is where I think, again, most people don't realize like the way God speaks with you. I think this is how the Holy Spirit did actually speak to me that day. It's more of a conviction. So during that time when I opened it, I had a conviction, and this is how I think the Holy Spirit talks, is I was just thinking to myself, I haven't really read the Bible. And the question is what I think was the Holy Spirit, which is, shouldn't you at least read the Bible one time, all the way through? At least one time. If I'm somebody who believes in God and what Jesus did, because we were born and raised in it, I should at least say that I've read the Bible all the way through. So that night, I said, let's just start from the beginning. I don't know where to start. Everyone says you can start New Testament. Some people say Old Testament. I didn't know where I was starting. I didn't really read the Bible ever. Started reading Genesis. Most people don't know, I didn't go to bed for 2 days. I did not sleep for 2 days. What? I literally woke up, went to work the next day, which was in my room pretty much because I didn't have to leave the house. Read the Bible. 48 hours. I obviously took breaks. In between those 48 hours, I took breaks, which is crazy, Levi. And a lot of people don't realize that. During that time, I read Genesis. Went upstairs. Everyone just woke up from their 8 to 10 hour nap that they went to sleep with. And I'm like, hey, Levi, you should read the Bible. That's where that started. Everyone's like, Bible? Mom's like, you're reading the Bible now? It was so random. This is where that little on fire thing happened, where I didn't understand what was happening at the time. I was like, what the heck is happening? This is so entertaining. And again, it was because I fell in love with the creation story in Genesis. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is nuts. Little did I know that on fire was going to be severely attacked, not family wise, but just by questions and people not understanding what I was like reading. And this is where I like truly started understanding what it means to be persecuted. I didn't even really understand persecution until it started happening. Because a month later, when I was just reading day and night, now obviously I got some sleep finally. But when I was reading it, I was like, I wholeheartedly believe this. Like, I didn't understand what people meant with like, oh, you in full faith have to believe what the word says. I started believing it because I didn't even talk to my family yet. I didn't even talk to you, Levi, or mom, dad, or brothers and sisters. I didn't talk to anybody yet. And I got to that point. But before I did that, I had TikTok. And I started talking about videos on TikTok. Hey guys, look at this, this, that. I was just sharing it with the world. And what most people didn't realize is I got enough following back then to go live. And that's when the persecution made me really get deep in the faith and really the conviction and hardship and all that stuff and understanding that, because I would go live with not just Christians, but I would go live with Muslims, atheists, all this. And then they would ask deep questions, try to get to a point of convicting myself to try to be like, you don't really believe that. And it felt like it was a war. It got to a point where this is where I finally had like the full faith of like, I will never change my mind away from Christianity, is because I got to a point where there were people staying on my lives. Like it'd be like full days where mom, which you might not know this, she was saying she didn't understand what I was doing yet because she wasn't on my lives, but she just knew I was on TikTok live. And she would say, Brody, you're wasting so much of your time on that app. She thought I was just scrolling and just looking at videos. I was on live the whole time, debating people, talking to people. And by doing that and stuff I didn't even know, and even saying, I don't know, that's the best thing you can say too. If you don't know something, never say that, let me force an answer. If you say, I don't know, that's when you really will have somebody give you an answer of where you can grow. Because I'd have so many atheists say, right when I say, I don't know, I'm so sorry, I can't answer that time, I don't have enough information on that. They would be like, see, I got you. See, you don't know everything. And I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? And when this happens, this is where your faith really grows. Because then you start saying, well, wait, why are they trying to prove a point when I just said I have no answer for you on that? Like, it's like they proved something. So again, during this whole testimony of why it's not as fancy and spontaneously amazing story. Mine's more of the more boring side of the story, but mine is, I got to a point where in my life, I had no idea what direction I was going. I had no idea what I was going to do in my life. I still have a problem with that. I mean, I know it's centered around Jesus in some way. I know that I have a good understanding of that, but I still have no idea. And it's very hard. That's a very hard thing to have, because that's where that faith comes along. Because it's like, hey, wait a second. And it feels like in a way it's a form of a God testing, saying, hey, you have information that you'll continue to grow on and build on and build on and build on, but you have to stay with it. And that's one of the hardest things. I still struggle with it. But every time I still stick with it and decide to open my Bible or decide to pray for somebody, every single time it strengthens my faith. And then it makes my testimony even stronger each time I talk about it. Levi already said it once in his thing. This is when I actually was like, and again, I'm still trying to get this back. It's like a weird thing. When you're fresh on fire, it's a whole different experience. I think Levi's going through it right now. He's this whole on fire, brand new, like, boom, it's blazing. It did that for me for 2 years. I obviously still have the Holy Spirit in me, but it's very hard. It's weird because it's like everything in the world that's evil tries to extinguish it or just shrink it. So now, even though obviously I still have it, back at that time, which I need to get back to that point again, I was like, birthday's coming up, yours a Bible. Another birthday, Bible. Another birthday, Bible. Like, it was every birthday. They're like, it got to a point where, bless his heart, my older brother, he messaged me because he knew I was going to get him Bible, because it was Bible, Bible, Bible. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. He texted me privately, said, do not get me a Bible. And I was like, because again, this is kind of funny, but he already has one with him and his wife. And so he already had one, but I want to get him a personal Bible that he could just study, highlight, whatever, all that stuff. And he texted me, don't get me one. I already know you're going to get me one. Don't get me one. And the craziest thing, I already purchased one. And you don't know this, Levi. I already had one. I returned it because I was like, well, actually, no, I take that back. I thought about returning it. I talked to Mom and she's like, no, you know what? You shouldn't probably return the Bible. Just give it to somebody or whatever. So that's when I actually gave it to my friend, Colin.
Oh, yeah. And
that's when he actually had a Bible. And he's like, oh, okay, sure. And I actually gave him one when we met up. And that could have been a whole thing that I didn't even plan on doing. And just my older brother saying no to that Bible could have been the reason why my other friend Colin got it. You know what I mean? Maybe I would have never gave him one in the first place. But I mean, long story short, my testimony is such a weird one because it wasn't like some great experience that all these people go through. They're like, wow, God spoke to me or God saved my life, which I think those are 100% awesome. Those are very cool. I love listening to those testimonies. Like your testimony too. Yours is like a whole direction of like God like guiding you. And I know he's doing that some way with mine, but mine's in the sense of very weird because he got bored. He didn't understand where he's going in life. He was confused. He didn't get this. Yeah. And then the direction kind of was just landed on him. And so mine was just not really spontaneous and amazing. It was that boring story that is like, well, there's a testimony over there, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of mine.
Yeah, I like how you said this before the podcast. You were like, my testimony isn't gonna have a lot of, like other people do a miracle that happens, and then that's the reason you. And I think, like you said, it's amazing that happens. But me and you, I feel like our miracle was that we were born with Jesus, like with our parents knowing Jesus, because a lot of people don't have that. Mm-hmm. And so when you're born in a family like that, you kind of get introduced early, and mm-hmm. I feel like that's a miracle more than like that's a miracle to me rather than like not knowing him early in my life and then slowly going through, and then he performs a miracle later in my life and that saves you, which is also amazing. But yeah, we didn't have like those miracles where just like, oh, he just cast away this thing instantly. Like we slowly, like we didn't know him when we were introduced to him like at a younger age, but we didn't really know
So
him.
we were fed these like little truths over time. That's what helped us.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
At least I was.
Yeah.
I never really like. I knew Jesus, but I didn't really know him. Like I didn't really have a relationship with him, and now I'm trying to build that relationship because I was just like I said at church, like I just went just because my mom wanted me to, and now like I don't know. I like going to church now, and I try to focus. But when I was a little kid, I just sat there and I just like tried to sleep. Had mom tickle my back, and then I just like was waiting until it was over.
Oh, we all had that type of experience. I slept in church. Like it was bad when I was younger. I was like, Mom, I'm tired. I wasn't even tired back then. I didn't realize I was lying and sinning because I was young. But I still remember those moments. I was like, I don't want to be in church. Like, what is this? And we didn't realize the best thing that was happening to us was we were actually being introduced into something that was the only way that you should be going, which is with Jesus Christ.
And last Sunday, I still struggle with paying attention because I'm just like it's hard, but I paid attention last Mass, and I actually got a message from the Mass, and I was just like, it's never really happened to me because I don't really pay attention. So yeah, it's just cool, like slowly learning about Jesus and slowly getting closer to him and having a relationship with him. And then talking about my testimony, it makes you realize like it's not even like a crazy testimony. It's just like when you re-talk about it, it's just like, wow, like that all really happened, and that's why I'm here right now talking about Jesus on a camera. So it's just cool. And your freaking testimony about like when you said Dalton didn't want a Bible, so you gave it to Colin. Like there's all those things are like things like God knows is gonna happen, and then it happened. Like you don't know it, but Jesus knows, and maybe you could save his soul by something he plans on happening, like giving the Bible to Colin.
Yeah.
And even if they don't follow it, there's still like it's still on the table for him that he might have not had if Dalton didn't say, I don't want the Bible. But
yeah, no, it's very cool how he works in mysterious ways, and that's why it's like when you try to understand God, it's really cool because you'll learn some stuff, but like you'll never fully be able to understand even the bad situations in life. Like you'll get to a point where you're like, why is all this bad? But it's actually a blessing in disguise, and that could be. We'll talk about that on a different podcast because we all have stories. Levi does, and me. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be.
It just it changes you. Like, I know it changed you when you first met God. Like,
oh, you experienced it verbally. You're like, holy crap! Like I won't shut up about God.
Like it changes you. It changes you. Like I freaking just like the past 3 weeks, mom was talking to me when that thing happened, and she was like, how do you just like, or how are you so okay with it? And obviously it hurt, but I was just like, I literally had no clue. It's just I feel like I had no answer to give her. I just said just Jesus, like. Jesus.
Well, what was it? It's better to say it.
I can't, bro.
It's a struggle. It's the struggle.
No, I know it was a struggle that happened. Like they'll know later. I'm just not gonna say it now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, that happened, and like whenever I was talking to mom after work, and she was just like I hate how it happened to you, and I feel so bad for you. Like, how are you so okay with it? And I was just like, it hurts, but like when this stuff happens, it's like you go back to the Bible, and it's just like Jesus is like, forgive. You slap them in the face, turn your other cheek or whatever for them to slap you.
Oh, I thought you said slap them in the face. I was like, whoa, is that what you did? Oh my gosh, okay.
No, that's freaking insane. But yeah, like I go back to that stuff, and they're just like, everyone's heard of those things, and it's just like when you go back to it in the moment, you're just like, okay, I can actually, try to be like Jesus was and try to be like a good human. So when it happened, I didn't want to make them feel guilty about doing anything. I wanted the best for them, and I still do. And I prayed to God. I said, I told mom this. I said, I pray that they find someone that is better than me, like times 10.
Dang.
And like,
dang.
I truly, I'm not just doing that just because, it hurt or like I'm trying to be good. It's just like I genuinely like care for the person. And I think that prayer, when I prayed that, is like the Holy Spirit inside of me saying like it hurts, but it's part of God's plan. Like no matter what happens, and maybe it's God separating you guys to build you stronger to come back together. And if it's not, it's Him separating you guys. No matter what it is, it's still part of His plan. Like no matter what happens, and I just like it helped me realize that even more. It's like that's like it's true. It's always part of God's plan, no matter what happens. And obviously there's things in life where like if someone kills somebody,
Mm-hmm.
that's not God. Like, that's not God just, oh, I'm going to let this happen. No, everybody has free will. And I always go back to the free will part where
Mm-hmm.
uh someone that kills someone isn't God saying, oh, I'm going to let this happen because it's supposed to happen. No, it's
Yeah.
the person having free will, and then they let evil into their lives, and then they use that, the story unfolds from there.
Yeah, that's
They
a
let
tough
it-
topic to
Yeah, I know. So, but
cover.
yeah, going back to the thing that I was talking about is just like, Mom was always asking me, like, how do you do it? I was just like, I don't know, just Jesus. Like, I read the Bible, I got closer to him, and he helped me realize certain things.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. That was
What?
that's you were guys, you don't understand. This is kind of back knowledge. If you follow him on his YouTube, he like so badly wants to like go into like make his own clothing thing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said something just now that you didn't even you'll hear it back.
What? Just Jesus?
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Nobody steal it.
All right.
Holy crap, just Jesus right there. Boom, on your shirt.
No, but
Somebody's
yeah.
going to make it now. Somebody's making it.
I'm
And
not,
hey, you'll know where it came from.
Facts,
Came
yeah.
from freaking Levi Nordic right here. Just Jesus,
Stamp
dude.
my
That's
name on the
so
bottom.
good.
That's-
Holy crap. That's such a good. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
I'm
you're
so
good,
sorry.
you're good, you're
What were
good.
you saying? I'm sorry.
But yeah.
You said that and I'm like,
It literally it is. I'm not just saying that just because it's like, oh, this podcast is about him, but like when it
Mhm.
happened, like I told mom, I was like, it's just him. Like I don't know what the reason is why I'm like this and why I'm forgiving so much, and well, obviously I do. It was Jesus, but it's hard to explain that to someone that's just like, mom, because she has some times like that where she's just like, I want to forgive people, but it's just so hard to do it in the moment, and I'm just like, it is really hard, but like everyone, you just gotta wish the best for people in life, and I think that's what I go back on when that thing happened. I was just like I don't want to say too much because then people are just gonna be like, put the puzzle pieces together and be like, oh, this happened. But yeah, it happened, and I was just like, I'm just like, what would God want me to do? And so I took that and I just forgave, didn't want them to feel guilty, showed them like the most love I could possibly show the person, and hope that they would find someone even better than me, and that's it. Like I just go back on that, and it's just like God is, like I can feel him even when you can't see him. Just like there's a thing I told Grandma the other day, and it was a TikTok I saw, and it was like, I believe in Jesus like a homeless man or a blind man feels the sun. Like you can't see it, but you can feel it. And I was just like, that's freaking crazy.
because you can feel the sun. Or,
Yeah, like blind people can't see
like
the
you
sun, but they can feel it.
because he's
Yeah,
blind, but you
and
can
so-
still feel that it's
Yeah,
hitting
it's the
you.
same as Jesus. You
It's
can't
like warming
see
your
him, but
skin.
you can feel him. Like
Yeah.
you can see what changes happen in your life, and it just changes. Like it's like I would never do that a year ago. Like what the frick? What am
Like
I-
that would have never been a thought in
Yeah,
your
I
mind. You're
wouldn't have
saying
been
a year
like
ago.
that good about anything a year
Yeah.
ago or 2 years ago. Like and
Like
then I'm just
understanding
like,
what
oh,
she's
it's-
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like you go back and say, oh, Jesus. It's literally just Jesus. Like I can't even explain
Make it a shirt now.
I can't explain it. It's literally just him.
It's just Jesus. Maybe that's what it should be. It's just Jesus. That's it.
It's freaking
It's
nuts.
just
I can't-
Jesus,
I couldn't
man.
even explain them all. I literally just said that. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just. I
It's
keep
just
saying-
Jesus.
All right, we're done.
He's plugging it. He's like, I'm
Oh,
already gonna
yeah,
get a thing.
we're
No.
done. Oh, but yeah, it's just freaking crazy. It's nuts. I don't even know where I was going with that story, but it's just like
Because you're talking about testimonies. You're
Yeah,
wondering like you
that's
basically were
true.
talking about how like why everything happens for a reason. And I completely agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just and yeah, when I get closer, you can see it change in your body. That's where I was going with it. When you get
Mhm.
closer to Jesus, you can, like when you actually have a relationship, you won't know it or see it. Not the relationship, but like yourself, you won't know or see any changes.
Mhm.
But like when those things happen and come into your life, and like you just like you look back at it after it happened, and you're just like, I would never have done that 2 years ago. But now that I know Jesus, I could see it like an actual change in me. I don't know. It's just, to me, that's what happened. It's just like I felt that there was a whole different change, like a whole different personality. And now I don't hate anybody. I don't want to like, I just want to love everybody. I want to do everything. Like I was at Target today and I saw this dude and his card was declining and I'm broke. I'm not broke. I was like a couple thousand in my name. And I was just like he's like a father. And I was just like, his card's declining and I could pay for like whatever he's trying to buy. Even if I don't even have money, like I would still be generous to do. just to help people. Like, I just want to help people like Jesus helped people. I was like, I don't care how much money I have, it would help him. But his card, went through. But like, just that stuff coming into my life, I was just like, I would never think to do that like years ago. It's weird.
I mean, since we're talking about testimonies, I think this is the thing I really would want people to know. Yeah, I mean, even you, I don't think I even ever told you this, is people try to put too much emphasis on a testimony. And they're like, if my testimony sucks, I'm not a Christian. If my testimony is great, I'm a Christian. And I don't think it's really good to do that, because my example, and you are already understanding this example with what you even just said, your entire life is the testimony. Once you believe in Jesus Christ, that's the start line. Like when you start, like imagine a marathon. You have a start line and a finish line. The start is when you step over that start line, you're believing in Jesus right there. Your testimony is that entire race. And then at the very end of it, that finish line, that is when you take your last breath and you get to go into paradise with Jesus. Yeah. But people try to make the testimony a single day, a single action, a single thing, which is fine. That actually happens. I don't want people to think that doesn't happen. But I don't want those people to think that's their testimony and that's just it only. Yeah. Why I started believing Jesus. It is why I started believing Jesus. That's the beginning of it. And then you have your entire rest of your life now is your testimony. That's what I think people try to complicate and say, oh, I don't have a good testimony.
If something doesn't crazy happen, then they're not going to talk about, like, they don't think it's good enough to share to people.
And it weakens their faith. I really think that's what happens is they kind of feel like, oh, I'm this reserved corner, and now I'm separate from this group of Christians that all are enjoying this gathering in Christ. But now I'm separated out of that circle, and they feel like this lost sheep. And I feel like biblically that's like a thing Jesus doesn't want to happen. He wants everybody to be in that inner circle of Christ as one body, helping one another, like you were saying, with you just feeling like you need to help that guy. That's calling from the Holy Spirit. That's the Spirit of God within you, that powerful Spirit. You're like, well, I could help. Even though I don't really think I can afford it, I think I can do it. Exactly, yeah. So I think that's kind of where I hope even you, because I know you're even at the beginning of this journey, which is amazing, because you've already experienced so much in such a short time. Yeah. Just imagine, like, you 20 to 30 years from now, you are going to be having imagine your testimony then. Your testimony will still be the same when you started, but you're going to add a bunch of stuff into that. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, you don't even want to know what I've been through. You know what I mean? And it's going to be great. It's going to be such a powerful statement to people. That's why I say not to you, but to everybody. I mean, and you going forward, don't always think your testimony only has to be when you first started. Your testimony, you can talk about, hey, here's how it started, and then here's where it took me.
Exactly. Yeah. That's good. That's goodly worded. I don't even know if that's a word, but yeah, going back to what you said about the whole lost sheep, like people feel like God doesn't want people to feel like lost sheep just because their testimony isn't crazy, some miracle happened. I was gonna say, like, you shouldn't be like, everyone's a follower of God, and I feel like when you're a follower of God, that you God doesn't want to have separate groups. And I'm not saying this is a thing. I'm just saying, based on what you said, I know there are people that are like that. I'm like that kind of a little bit with my testimony about, like, nothing crazy happened, so, like, it's not gonna be a super good testimony. Like, I feel like God would want everyone to be like, God doesn't care what all these testimonies are, like, separate groups testimony. Oh, there's a testimony here with miracles that happen, and then some over here, like, that's what people think. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to. My testimony is gonna be crazy. I feel like God with the testimonies, he doesn't care about your testimony. He just wants to have a relationship with you. That's why he died on the cross, just so you can have a relationship with him. Yeah. So I feel like God doesn't care about anything. He just wants a relationship with you, and you to be like the Bible. The Bible's like there's like a thing for it. What it stands for? I don't know.
Basic information before leaving Earth. Yeah, there it is, baby. Sniped it. Woo!
Yeah, I saw that, and I was just like, well, obviously he cares what you do. He doesn't want you going around sinning all the time, but he just wants a relationship with you. And I didn't think about that at the beginning. I just was like, it's just like Bryce Crawford said, like, people think of it like as a cage of rules, and that also stuck out to me. It's not about it. It's not a cage of rules. He wants to have a relationship with you, and he wants you to have a relationship with him like a friend. Like, you just talk to him on a daily. Because, like, if you have a friend and you don't talk to them all the time, or, like, you let them go and you're just like, all right, they'll come back to me maybe another time, and they don't come back to you because you don't talk to them. I feel like that's kind of the same with Jesus, except Jesus is always waiting for you. He always has his offerings on the table. You just have to pick it up and follow him and be, have an actual relationship with him. And I didn't realize that until like slowly started studying and listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
He just wants a relationship with you. It's freaking crazy. And the same thing, like, I don't know how I'm connecting that to testimonies, but I'm just saying, like, you don't need a crazy testimony or, crazy, like, things that happen in your life to be part of that family with Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to be
Yes, and I think that's the thing is because, again, we watch a lot of people. There's a lot of good, like, evangelists, too. Like, they're going out there in the streets, too, which, again, we could try to do later. We want to make sure we know what we're talking about. We're heavily studying the Bible, too, right now. So we want to make sure before even we think about doing something like that, we want to make sure we know what we're talking about. But especially, like, with what Levi just said, if you watch somebody on YouTube, even if it's us, whether you're like, wow, Brody and Levi, or which people might think that, and we can't prevent that, but we're trying to like make that more reasonable for people. But like there are people that are like, God spoke to me, and then other people are going to be like disheartened. They're going to be like, well, that sucks. God's never spoke to me. He has, but like it might be in a different way. You see what I mean? And like people will say, oh, maybe I'm just not meant to be a Christian, or maybe I'm not to be a follower. Maybe I'm not even a disciple of Christ, because even if they believe that Jesus died for their sins, it's like their faith will be hindered because they think, oh, well, if God's directly speaking with somebody and he doesn't do that to me, or he's like, somebody got like, for example, let's say their father or somebody dies of cancer, or father, mother, somebody they know dies of cancer. But then they see online somebody else had the same stage 4 cancer and then they survived. It was a miracle by God. Yeah. They would question their faith and say, well, wait, does God now not love me enough to save my parent, friend, whoever it was that died? But did he pick his favorite? And that's where it's like that's what makes people's faith hindered a little bit. And that's why I always tell people, be careful of that, because it's exactly what the enemy wants to do. The devil and demons themselves, they want that to happen, to try to turn you away from the right path. Exactly. Remember, there's 2 paths, and you know this, Levi. There's the right path, which goes down the righteous path that's going to be way harder to go down, or the easy, ginormous, wide path that's like, dude, we're going to give you some pillows to sleep on. Like, come down this path. That's the path you don't want to go down. That comfort path is a very scary path, and that's what the enemy tries to do, is make it as easy, as comfortable, as convenient as possible.
Exactly.
And people don't want to go. That's why it says, it even says, this is one of my favorite verses, is it even talks about the righteous path. It doesn't even say that, like, when it talks about like the hardship of it, it says very few find it. And that should be something that people need to think about, is if it obviously talks about when you find it, you got to endure that path of righteousness. You have to also think about that saying where it says very few find it. That means if you have to first find that path, and that's the hardest part, is it still finding that? That's a very deep question that you yourself have to go into. Yeah. As a follower of Christ. Because like I'm still in the midst of it, if that makes sense, right? Like obviously I'm going down it, but like obviously this is what I mean by that, if I'm in the midst of it. I have backsliding moments, and I hate it when it happens. Yeah. Before it happens, I don't think anything of it. But when it happens after I'm done with it happening, the backsliding, I am so mad at myself. And that is one thing a blessing. Because if you do not feel convicted after something like that happens, be very careful. Because if you did something bad, well, let's say backsliding or anything sinful, and you're like, woohoo, that was great. Whatever it was that you did, maybe you gossiped to somebody, maybe you slandered somebody, maybe you watched something lustful, maybe you did something bad, and you're like, I have no regrets. I think that was liberating. But you know the truth of that is a sinful thing that God says is sinful, and you're like, oh, I don't care anymore. That is the worst position you can be in your life.
I mean, you should
always feel convicted of something like that.
I used to be like that. Obviously, like when I was little, I had God in my life. Like I was introduced, like I said, a trillion times, but I didn't really know God. I didn't know I was wrong. So whenever I did those things, like you said, people, if you're happy about it or don't even think about it being wrong, I was like that. I didn't think anything was wrong about it. I did have obviously I knew it was wrong because there was a thing, but I never knew anything about it was in the Bible about oh, you can't do this. It's just like all this stuff. And then whenever I started talking about it, I was just like, that did start happening. I was just like, I felt worse and worse. And the closer I got to God, I felt more like worse about it every time I did something bad. And I was just like, I don't know. But like what you're saying, if you do know that truth and you do go down that path, and then you randomly just stop feeling guilty, I would probably just say dive back into that Bible and
and prayer.
Yeah,
Prayer's way more powerful than people even think. Bible, yes, obviously, yes.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't like to open that book.
Yeah, I
Boom.
hate reading, but I still.
We both
That's
don't
the
like
only
reading.
book
Oh
I
yeah,
ever
we
read.
both hate reading. Oh yeah, but again, are you willing to sacrifice your want versus what God wants?
Exactly. And the thing you said, I think this is the last thing we'll probably talk about, right? Because the thing's probably gonna die.
Yeah. Guys. In case you guys don't know, we got some scuffed
Not really
products.
Scuff, but
they're okay, but I mean, like,
camera, but
they're gonna die.
But you said how when people don't think Jesus talks to them and they can't hear it, I struggle with that too. I don't know if it's me talking to myself or just God talking to me. And I think I did have one encounter on the bus.
Yeah.
But I watched The Chosen, and God's talking to like little James, that dude with like the.
Wait, this could be spoilers. I might not be this far.
It's fine. I gotta say it. But
He's spoiling it live for the first podcast.
I don't know if it was little James.
Okay.
I think it was. So don't take me on that.
What season?
I don't remember.
Oh, I'm gonna be spoiled. Here we go.
He was like, God, why? Like I think he had a messed up knee or messed up foot or something, and he was like, because he was always like walking around with a stick. Well, I know he had some messed up, but he's like, God, why are you performing all these miracles? All other people, why can't you just heal me like as you do them? And then. Jesus was like, because like he said, I trust you. I don't know his exact words, but he was just like, I trust you in your faith, and I know you won't, no matter what I do, even if I don't, like, I'm not gonna heal you. He didn't say that. He said, even if I don't heal you, you still have the faith you have right now. Without, like, even if I did heal you, you'd still have that faith. And so like him not healing was like, think about your testimony with all these, like, later down the road when people say, well, Jesus was performing all these miracles, but he didn't heal this person, and that person still had the same amount of faith as the people that he performed miracles on. And I think that's so like cool with even if Jesus, like, even if you can't hear Jesus, like you said, he does it in many ways that you might not know of. But like if you can't see those ways, or like if something happens in your life or something, like, I don't know, it's like I'm just going to go back to the other example.
Okay.
If you can't hear him, and like there's all these things people say, like, I hear him, and you can't hear him, but like there's still things in your life that's happening. You just can't find and see the way that he's talking to you yet. Maybe he's like, I trust his faith no matter what. I know he's going to stick by me till the end. Like, I don't have to, I'm not saying he says this, but maybe he said, like, I trust him no matter what. Even if I talk to him, I know he's going to stick by my side. I know he's going to be growing in faith no matter what I do. Like, even if I don't perform a miracle or save someone's life, maybe that person that died was meant to, go to heaven. But again, the diseases, I don't know if Jesus plants them. He doesn't plant in them in people. I don't know how the diseases work, but
he probably does. I have diabetes. I don't blame God on that one.
Well, I know, but I'm saying
you're talking about diseases.
Die, though. I'm saying
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, but obviously he doesn't just kill people, but like I'm just going, like, he knows your faith, and he knows like what you're gonna do. He's not just gonna Jesus never just lets you go. Like, he's not gonna ever just let you go. That's your own will doing. And the little James thing in The Chosen, like that, it spoke to me because it was like, I don't hear Jesus, but I will, like, I don't hear him as much as everyone talks about it. I heard him once. Yeah. Because I was just like, Jesus, like, that's not me talking that to Jesus, and I don't hear him as frequently as other people talk about. But I know God knows that my faith, like, he doesn't need to talk to me. Like, I don't even ask God to talk to me or speak to me or show me things. Mm-hmm. Because no matter what, I'll still have the same faith with him, even if he did show me all these things. Like, I'll still have that faith. Yeah. And I'll still be by his side no matter what. So I think that's what he does with some people. Like, he knows they're not going to leave his side no matter what. Like, even if he performs miracles or anything. Yeah. But it's just freaking, that's really powerful. Really big thing.
I'm glad you kind of withhold a little bit of that information so I could still watch it.
Well, I mean,
I'm glad you kind of sugarcoated
I kind of
it.
spoiled the entire thing. But
I mean, it's okay, but I can't. I'm not that too good at visualizing that, so that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
I'm
I
not,
can
I'm
still
not gonna. Yeah,
rewatch
I'm
it.
also not gonna talk about the death and stuff because I have no clue how any of that works yet. I haven't. If you guys don't know, I'm reading the Bible. I have not read it fully because I'm trying to study it while I read.
Mm-hmm.
So I read the 4 Gospels, and then I think I'm on Acts right now, and then I read a bit at the beginning, but I haven't read the whole thing, and I'm gonna read the whole thing.
I've
obviously.
read the entire Bible, but I haven't studied it. So like I'm in the middle of studying, and studying takes forever because if you're studying the Bible right, I've gotten like 3 books pretty much studied. Like if somebody asks me about what is it? Philippians. I've already forgot the other 2. It's just it's weird. It like Titus, and then which those are very short ones. That's why they're not really that hard. But you'll get to a point. I'm so excited when you get to a point you're gonna just snipe it. There's gonna be like something happens. You're gonna boom verse. Like that's where the Holy Spirit really starts shining. I've lost a little bit of it because again I was talking about like when I was really on fire, it like was just there, and I got to grab that back. It's very hard to kind of get back to that point, but when you continue to study, once you read it all the way through, you'll get the whole information of what the Bible has to offer. You think because you got the story down, then you go into the details of the cracks and crevices, and you're gonna go wait a second, and then it's gonna be so good to you whatever God will reveal to you, and that'll make it interesting to you. When you have that, you're going to want to share it with everybody. You're going to be like, I got, and you will, if you don't share with anybody, God's going to allow your situation to share because somebody's going to say something. You're going to be like, I have a verse. And then you're going to want to share that verse that you've been wanting to share with somebody. So it's very cool how all that works.
I only know a couple verses, like 3. Philippians 4:13, John 3:16, and then Leviticus 18:22.
Well, what is that? Leviticus 18:22. What is that? I don't even know that one. Right off the snipe in it. What is it?
It talks about how it says, man shall not lay in I do not know the exact words. I'm not that good at that yet, but it says man shall not lay in bed with another man, likewise a woman. Like
the same as a woman,
So,
like don't lay with a man as
because I don't know, it's just a powerful verse, and I saw someone on Instagram that said something about how they're Christian and they're pretty much like homosexual, and I was just like, I looked up verses because I know it's wrong. So
dude, we're going right into it, baby. I love it.
Well, no, we'll save for another podcast.
That's a big podcast, that one.
I just looked up that one. I memerized it because I see so many of those things, and I'm just like you're sharing false information. You're sinning with that, and you're sinning with, it's just like, so I look at that verse and I remember that. So every time I see it, I could, tell people or text.
There's a verse you would really like then, because there's one that will help strengthen that. Where you're saying like, because you said that person was homosexual, and you were like kind of in this situation. The best thing to like help you not get upset with that person, I can't remember. Again, this is where it sucks because I'll get like half of it. But there's a verse in the Bible, I don't remember where, I forget, but I remember the verse. It talks about to not getting upset with somebody, because we were once there and we were once like them. So that's where it's like that hope and faith in helping that person is assigned to us. Like, we can't get mad at that person because we were once like that, and maybe not in the exact same way. Like, we're not homosexual, right?
A sinner,
but like that's what I'm saying. So if God is telling us we were once like those people, maybe not, we weren't homosexual, but like we were probably sinful in another way. And it could be for some people it could be the same way. Maybe somebody could relate to that person who was a homosexual or whatever. But the whole point of that section in Scripture, when it talks about like we can't be too upset or like judgmental or whatever with that person in an unrighteous way, because if we do that, what are we doing? We were once there before we were saved. We were like that. You know what I mean?
Everyone's born a sinner, and Jesus lays it on the table for you to repent from that. So that is true. But we'll talk about. I'm not gonna say too much about that. I just memorized that verse because I see so many things about that. I'm just like,
that podcast is gonna be so good, man.
I never get upset with them, but I'm just like, you're spreading false information to all these people. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But
that happens. Yeah, that happens a lot in the world.
We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, that was fun to talk about our testimonies. So
you guys can call me Brody, by the way. It's okay. That's my nickname. My actual name is Broderick. It's okay. He's called me Brody his entire life. Okay. By the way, actually, something we do need to talk about right now, just very quick, is we forgot to say. So we're actually 10 years apart. So he's my younger brother. He is 10 years younger than me. I'm 29 and he's 19.
Yeah.
So we're actually like a decade apart. Decade brothers right there.
Facts.
There it is.
That was going to be our name, but Or no.
No, we were actually, what's funny about this, yeah, you can say, I'll let you say it.
Yeah, our name was going to be
It's very...
The Bible Brothers.
Yeah. And we looked up and it was taken. Dang.
Yeah, and then it was taken by like 4 people. And then,
yeah, 4 people had it. We're like,
nope.
The
duo, or the decade.
I think it was the Decade Brothers. We were going to do that.
Yeah, the Decade Brothers, because we're 10 years apart.
Yeah.
But there's some, I don't know why we didn't. It just didn't run. It didn't,
Yeah,
it
didn't.
good.
Yeah. There was no zing to it.
Exactly.
And then we're like, ooh. And then actually, since we could just kind of end it with that, the way we came to our name is our older brother. Our third brother.
He's like, just do this, and then
we just were like, holy crap, it's a great name. He's just like, well, because we were having a problem.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we don't know what to use. Everything's used. And he just sniped off the top of his head. He's like, what about the duo disciples? We're like, whoa.
He said the disciple duos.
Oh, that's right. We flipped it. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. So, I mean, I don't know. You could do the outro. I don't know how to do an outro.
Oh, that's fine. Hey. Episode 1, baby, of the Duo Disciples podcast. Dude, me and Levi are so excited where this is going to go. We have so much more to talk about. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be working on this like crazy because we want to just help spread the word of God so much. And we feel like just through our conversations, we can connect with all of you guys. You guys can share your testimonies. You can share everything that you guys have, connecting what you agree with, what you disagree with. Because if you just share what you agree with, what you disagree with, that's how everybody grows together. When you're talking about the truth, God is there because God is the way, the truth, and the life, baby.
Nice.
End of episode 1, baby. Woo!
Now, before we end it, we both gotta give something that we want them. We gotta give something that we'd want them to, end off with. So you go first. Tell them what you'd want like to end them off.
No, you got it. I'll let you go.
All right,
we'll make it quick.
So I'd just say, with my testimony, I'd say everyone that's watching, open your Bibles. As like, if you're tired, read just like a verse or like a couple words of like a passage about a page. Because I always get tired and I'm just like, I'm going to go to bed. And sometimes I do go to bed. But I just say to open your Bible every chance you can get so there's no excuse. Even if it's like for 5 minutes, just open it, read a little passage or like a little verse or like a chapter. Just anything will help. Like, because it sticks with you no matter what. And I still struggle with that. But I'd say open your Bible whenever chance you get. And read instead of watching TikTok because I still struggle with that so bad. Read it any chance you get, just a little part. As long as you read it every single day and try to learn from it. That's all I'm gonna leave them with.
That's good. I'll kind of piggyback off that a little bit. My little thing I will say to the audience is this: it could be just like my boring testimony. If you are somebody who doesn't even know if you believe in Jesus Christ of Nazareth, okay. If you want an exciting journey, and no, I'm not talking about those, oh, hey, I went to the mountains, I went to whatever, and you see all these people traveling, which is awesome, but it might stem some jealousy. Try to go on your own journey in faith and try to crack open a Bible. And guess what? Oh, no, Brody, I don't have a Bible. Oh, no. You have a phone, and you're watching this right now, a phone, tablet, computer. If you're watching this video, guess what? Or listening to it, if you're on Spotify. Wherever you're listening or watching from, you have access to the internet, and that means you can access any Bible app.
And they're free. Exactly.
So, crack open a Bible, whether it's physical, which I do recommend physical if you can, because you can highlight, mark, study. If you're going to want to study and learn, try to get a physical Bible. If you can't, perfectly fine. If your parents are paying for your cell phone bill, that's fine too. Open up a Bible app. Just start somewhere. I hate that people go and say, oh, it's this version, it's this. No, listen. Ignore which version you should start reading. Just open up the Bible. If it's a harder version, easier version, it doesn't matter. Start. That's an act of faith in itself. Just do that. Start your journey. And get this journey along with me and Levi. True. We're going on a journey, baby, and we're super excited about it, and we want to take you guys along with us. We don't want it to just be me and him. Yeah. We want it to be me, him, and everybody else that is involved. It's going to be a journey for all of us. Yes. Also, and so as we learn together, you can learn with us. And
one last thing.
We're just bobbing up thoughts.
When you open the Bible, like Bertie said, what I always do is I pray to God and I invite him in and help me understand what I'm reading because I'm terrible at understanding what I read. And I just pray to him and I go, Lord, just sit down with me and help me understand and read this Bible with me. That's literally what I ever do. And it always helps. Like I always understand more. So do that too. It helps so much.
So we just took an extra 5 to 6 minutes to end the podcast. Hey, that's how good. That means good podcast.
Yep.
Extra information.
Good
See, look,
stuff.
if you ended it when we said it was the end 6 or 7 minutes ago, you just missed all the best stuff. Like, you got to stay the extra 6, 7 minutes.
Exactly.
So
6, 7.
Oh my God. No, we're not doing that.
All
That
right.
is the worst meme. Okay.
No, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed
Yeah.
the Do It a Silence podcast. We'll get you guys. We're gonna post every weekend. Try to post every single weekend.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next weekend. Love you guys.
Yeah. See ya. Peace. God bless.
God bless.